and then start the intro. Sweet.
Welcome to Mindful Minutes with Musicians, the show where we aspire to inspire musicians and artists talking about mindfulness and what brings us through our practice to achieve greater goals.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in today to watch this episode of Mindful Minutes with Musicians. And remember not to miss an episode. Take a second to subscribe and hit the bell and leave your comments and all below. And today's guest is Jay Griz Cianfrini, the main vocalist and bassist of JAHGERNAUT, a unique death and roll heavy metal band from Toronto. Since 2015, they've been producing monstrous heavy breakdown grooves and old school hardcore punk tunes and annihilated stages around Toronto. In 2018, they came out with their album Dark Times, which is here. Can you see it? Yeah, that one. Of which I already grabbed my copy, as well as a t-shirt. You can grab your copy or listen to them on Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Amazon. That's where you can get all that stuff. And today he's here to talk with us about a mindful attitude. Here he is, Jay Griz Cianfrini.
How you doing?
Hey, good, brother. So we'll start off like, how are you?
I'm good. I not only do I play music, but I also work in music. So kind of my whole life came to an end.
Yeah.
Last March. So I'm very happy to say that there is some light at the end of the tunnel, and in my world, things have been starting to bloom. So
Nice.
There's a lot of positivity going around, and mindful moments are something that like I've had a lot of this past year, and I'm proud to say that recently they've been getting a lot more sunny and a lot more positive.
Amazing. Yeah. That's where we met, was in that industry, and it's been a roller coaster, and it's been wild to kind of, and it's partially why I started this, was just to kind of see how people are doing, and like, just have conversations and check up on people and that kind of stuff. Like, how have you been doing? Like, how have you been doing through this whole thing?
Well, I mean, I'm very fortunate because I have a lot of very creative friends. And so since May of last year, my regular band, which you were talking about, JAHGERNAUT, we have been jamming at least once a week, writing songs. We have a bunch of new songs written. And it's, there's like a weight to it that kind of, I don't know, maybe wasn't there as much before. It's just like things are more hectic, and they're a little more psychedelic, as we were a very straightforward heavy metal band, and now it's kind of opening up. And I think it's like, because we've had more time, you can't really go anywhere else, you can't really do anything else,
expand.
And so I've also written a ton of songs on my home studio, which is my Mac and Logic Pro X, with guitar, bass, and a lot of drum MIDI plugins. So I've been writing a ton of grindcore, death metal, punk songs just on my own.
Nice.
Yeah, that's been really that's been really, like, I guess,
like calming,
and like it's kind of weird, because I'm thinking like that's been really calming and like, centering me, and it's like the heaviest shit like, you could ever imagine. It's angry. Every song is like a minute long, but it's just like, for me, I don't know, it calms my soul and my spirit. It's weird, but it works.
I can only picture it as like release, like it's just a chance to like because there is that emotion within everybody. Like there is those moments where you're like, I gotta go through this and that, and like to be able to output it like that is great. You know, like I love music for that
Yeah.
like exact reason. Like
I mean,
yeah.
for many years, I just played my instrument as a almost as a contractor. Like people would hire me for gigs, and I would go and I would learn all the bass parts, and then I would play the gigs, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
it was never anything close to what I would actually write if I was to write my own stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
It was
did
just
that through like almost all of my 30s. And then when I started to work more at the Danforth and like things were starting to become full time, I kind of took a step back from gigging. And that's when we put Juggernaut together. And it was like, we're doing this because we want to do this, not because like I have to do it. So,
yeah,
it's like, hey, now
yeah.
we
No,
can
that's
write what we want to write because I don't have to worry about making a living playing the blues or classic rock or
mm-hmm.
whatever, singer, songwriter stuff. And not that there's anything wrong
Yeah.
with it, but that wasn't my passion.
Yeah, yeah, and that's just it. Like half of it is just being able to like find those things that just like cause joy in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it's like smashing drums or like I when I played in my band, this is okay. I'm aging myself. This is a
Yeah.
while back, but like I played bass and sang as well, and that was
Yeah.
something that I was like drawn to your music as well, like because I that itself is like that's not easy. That's not easy to do,
Oh,
but
it's funny. A lot of people say that, but it just kind of out of necessity from when I was like 16 years old. I
mm-hmm.
was always the backup singer. I
Yeah,
would always contribute lyrics. So then it would be like, well, if you're going to write them, you might as well sing them.
yeah.
So I was never really the lead singer of a band, but I was always the backup, like always the main backup singer or one of them.
Yeah.
And then I started doing a Slayer cover band. We're not a tribute band because we don't dress like them, but um
Yeah.
we started doing that in like 2007. And like I realized that like I have this this very loud
Yeah.
voice. So I'm like, you know, I could actually sing Slayer, and it worked out. It's not bad. And then so when Juggernaut came around, I was like, okay, I can't sound exactly like the Slayer voice,
Yeah.
but I actually have to think about this.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to yell for 45 minutes, but it's a lot of fun.
How did you find your voice? Like how was that one thing? Like
Uh,
if
well,
you if
well, I grew up in an Italian household, so
yeah, that would do it.
yeah, so you keep getting louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, and then like so. Um, no, I don't know. I've just always had a really loud voice, and I guess I seem to put it to use now for artistic purposes.
Yeah. So I find like have you found yourself to be more or like I'm guessing a bit more creative during these times because you've been able to like spend some time with things and like yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I'm very fortunate because I have a lot of hobbies. Like, when we first found out that we were closing down for what we thought was like a month, maybe 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I can't wait to read this fantasy series that I've wanted to read. And it's like, because
Yeah.
I do read a lot, and that's a big part of my morning, every morning.
Yeah.
And so, that was my thing. And then we couldn't really go to the jam room at that time. We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then, slowly but surely, we all realized that like we're not going to die if three of us go into a room and like play music for a couple hours. Like,
Yeah.
and like we were being good about it. We were wearing our masks. We were doing everything. And
Yeah.
the place that we jam at is very like there's signs everywhere. It's cool. Like it feels
Mhm.
very comfortable there.
Mm-hmm.
And it always has. So we're very fortunate for that. And
Nice.
we just started like we had started writing tunes last year, but because of my job and the other guys in my band's careers, like, we could only go so far for a certain amount of time. But I feel like because I've had so much more time, the other two guys in the band still have had their jobs this whole time. So
Mm-hmm.
I've had more time to kind of sit and sink into them and write more stuff. So when we do get together, it's very
you're
productive.
able to bring more to it.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And I'm always very aware that I'm in a band with other people. So it's not just like always what I want to hear or what anybody wants to hear. It's kind of like where we get to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great. It's been so great. It's probably the best stuff that, like, I could only imagine the other side of having gone through this. And I have to say that probably I'm I should be very fortunate for the gifts that I have, like being able to write music and write lyrics and all that stuff, or just not even being able to, just fucking doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is
Because
like
that's always been the thing.
yeah, sometimes that's the thing that stops us, or we have that book of a bunch of stuff we've written, and we're not like putting it
Yeah.
together with with music, or like taking the time to like even yeah, all of that, I imagine, is like just what's the word,
Well, it's just like, it's stuff like everybody wants to be motivated. I think that's something that we all share.
yeah
But finding that motivation is not always the easiest thing to do. Whatever your medium is, or if you're a person that's happy just sitting around and that brings you peace, amazing.
mm-hmm.
I sometimes wish I was like that, but I'm just not.
I think reading is great. This is what I'm reading right now.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Separate Reality. It's the second in the Carlos Castaneda, and it's all about opium or peyote and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
It's fun. It's an escape, and it's just and those kind of things, I think, lead to so many ideas and stuff like that, which is great. It kind of leads into my question of like what kind of things get you into a creative state, or like what kind of things do you use in order to like spark that creativity, like.
Okay, well, if I'm going to be very literal, like, this helps, guitars and basses and things that make noise, those help. But I feel like for me, it's just sometimes it's just floating in my head. Most of the time it's like something just starts going on in my head, and I have instruments in my house and at the jam room, and I just start playing shit. I mean, I've been playing the bass for 31 years, and when I was younger, I had drums in my house. My friends' drums were there from like 93 till like 98. And guitars were always, so I kind of learned how to play everything. Bass is by far the number one instrument that I'm comfortable on, but I can find my way around. I could play piano, like stuff like that, but I'm not like great at any of them. But
a whole,
it usually starts in my head, and then I'll put it down. I have a little Zoom recorder. Take it to the jam room. If it's for Jahgernaut, I could just come and sit right here where I'm sitting now. I've got a whole setup here that you can't see of, all kinds of stuff. And it just kind of starts there. And like, weed helps, obviously.
Yeah.
And,
I'm in that.
Respect to weed, who's been there since 1990 something. I can't remember, but that definitely helps. I never drink. Like, I can't do anything productive when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, we all think we can. You're at the college, like, I fucking crushed those acoustic songs last night, and all your friends are like, that's what you did.
That's crushed. Yeah.
More like the guitar is crushed because you fell on it.
Amazing.
So like weed helps for sure. It helps get you loose.
Yeah.
Like Black Sabbath riffs always sound better when you're a little bit high.
Yeah.
but also there's just like a thing swirling
Yeah.
around in my head. I don't know
Yeah.
how else to.
I get like from what I'm hearing, it's like immersing yourself within it, like just like grabbing an instrument and just saying,
Yeah.
just go for it. Like whether anything comes of it, it's just like
Yeah.
that release or that time to kind of like play, you know?
Yeah, because I could always go back to being that 14-year-old kid sitting in front of his ghetto blaster learning how to play Jane's Addiction songs. Like
Right. Yeah.
I can always go back there when I'm like just like sitting playing by myself.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and it's weird because at 43, it's just getting more and more and more every year. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously what you can do now in your own living room has allowed
Oh, it's
people like me, and there's many of us who've dreamed of this, especially in our generation.
yeah.
You know, I used to have a little 4-track, but still you need like amps and make a lot of noise. Here you can kind of do everything on headphones, and it's like,
Oh,
you
it's yeah, it's a new
it's
world. It's
amazing.
a,
Yeah.
like yeah, I got an audio interface years ago, and it just like from what the ways that we used to play years ago, there I like when I was playing there wasn't like there wasn't many recordings of anything, and there's
Yeah.
one recording that we have of my band that's in Planet Kensington, was like a punk bar
I've played there before.
yeah, and you're
Oh
in
yeah.
you're in the
Fuck.
corner.
Wow.
You're
Oh
in the
yeah.
corner, and
And the
people are
stairs.
walking,
Yeah. Yeah.
walking by you to go to the
Yeah, yeah.
washroom.
To go downstairs.
Yeah.
Right. Wasn't like half the band on one side of the stairs and the other half on the other side?
And the stairs was kind of in the middle. Yeah.
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 Right.
So I have video of me playing there.
Yeah, that's funny.
And that's about it. Like, but we played all over the city, but it was never like it wasn't like, it's not like today where you're just like there's so many recordings and the ability, and now you can just do that in the comfort of your own home. Like
it's crazy. Well, I mean, one of the other things I've been doing since last November is a couple of my friends and I, who they are always very busy with their careers as well as I am at the hall. We've been getting together like kind of not every week, but trying to like every other week or maybe every third week. And we've just been free form jamming. But our guitar player has been recording everything.
Sick.
So we have like 8 hours of like the craziest and these guys like musically are just out of this world.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I like you have to be able to like jam that fast and that, put together and
yeah. Oh no, this stuff isn't really like metal. It's more like desert stoner rock, all instrumental.
I love that stuff, man.
Oh man, it's yeah, it's the vibe is just like, and I just get to play bass. I don't have to sing. I don't have to worry. Like, it's just so much fun. I'm just like, I'm right where like I was when I was a teenager, and why I wanted to play music, and what, when you realize why you do it, mine was always because of the jam, because of the vibe, feeling it with other people. As cheesy as that sounds, it's still true.
It's one of my like fondest moments was there was a jam that we would do like, weekly or whatever. And same thing, my buddy, he had like this huge computer that he rolled into his garage, and we were like recording on some archaic kind of like before audio interfaces and stuff. But like and our thing was to go drive around the corner and smoke a joint and listen to that recording, and those like and the whole conversation would be like, oh, that part, oh, you jumped in that part, and then like you just like it's such a an emoted feeling. It's great.
It's like the ultimate, like being in the moment, but like being able to go and recapture that or listen to it and then try to recapture it. But it's just been so cool because his setup it's so good, and when he sends them to us, it sounds like we like recorded an album,
That's
you know, and
sick.
it's so cool. And so that's been really one of my favorite things, has been just being able to do stuff like that.
Do you think you would release those?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know, the other two members are very, you know, active in the music scene, and
Mm-hmm.
both of them are touring musicians who unfortunately can't tour now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, my drummer started a bagel thing with his friend, and now it's like they're selling out every week, and they've been on
Amazing.
CBC, on like Instagram, and like, you know, so shout out to Sherm's Bagels. Like, come on, the guy, like, it
Amazing.
is amazing actually, and he's an amazing guy, so it doesn't surprise me, but it's
Yeah,
actually amazing. Like,
that's awesome.
you know, and so like this is other musicians that are, you know, I
That,
guess innovating
yeah,
in order to ride this wave until, you know, we can get to the other side. It's
it
just,
it's funny
you
because
know,
one of my first questions that it kind of like I like grazed over as we were chatting was like the it's been a difficult time for our industry, and there's been a lot of pivoting
yeah,
and restructuring, and you know what I mean, and like
yeah,
this
yeah,
is a
yeah,
perfect story of like this is a pivot that someone did and was like, you know
yeah.
what, I'm gonna sell bagels, okay, like,
But he,
and then boom, like it's yeah,
and they're
that's
good. They're really good. Like
yeah,
he's really onto something. I'm very proud of that moment when he was like, I'm gonna do this. It's like,
nice,
that's what we live for, that moment. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, you know, you have all those, you know, there's so many people are always talking about what they're gonna do, but they never do anything. It's like
yeah,
the mad respect to those people that just do it.
yeah,
You know, it's like,
right.
you don't need to talk about it, just do it.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing, amazing like point to end the show
Yeah,
on. I think that's like is like do it. Like, you know what I mean?
just do it.
That's it's there's no harm that can come out of that. Like
No.
it's basically I'm gonna ask one last question is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is mindfulness to you? We're gonna well, and with that kind of like
Oh.
I know it's a heavy one, but
What is mindfulness?
and like I know some like I for some people it's you know putting a record on or something like that, or even just being aware, or you know what I mean,
Well,
like
yeah,
it's
that's what I was gonna say. I
but
was gonna say, to me, mindfulness is about being aware that you occupy a space within other people's spaces, and understanding that what you put out there is what you're gonna get back. And so just, you know, just
mm,
don't be an asshole. Just be a good person. And I'm always
amazing,
mindful of, you know, I'm a big guy. I'm always mindful of like the surround that I'm, you know, everyone
hmm,
knows that I'm here to help,
yeah,
you know, and to me, mindfulness is also putting on a record and just chilling out, or writing a song and just chilling out.
yeah, just doing it,
It depends on like whether it's your mindfulness, or, you know, the your understanding of your like what you take up in this, you know, in everyone's space.
I love it, man,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. All right, cool, I'm going to play the outro, and yeah, just don't forget to everyone check out Jaggernaut. I'm going to show this again. uh can we show this? Yeah,
Ah, nice.
is it gonna, yeah,
Yeah, looks good.
boom. Everyone get that album, it's sick, and you can check it out on all the social medias and everything like that. But yeah, huge thank you for being here.
Thank
I'm
you.
just gonna throw this
Don't
on
stop
here,
supporting live music.
right?
Thank you for tuning in to Mindful Minutes with Musicians. For more information about my guest and the topics of the show, go to blackmoremedia.ca and connect with us on all social media platforms. Welcome to the MMWM family, where we aspire to inspire. See you soon.
Amazing. Yeah, that's what we're here to do, is aspire to inspire. And I think the you know the overall theme of just just doing things, just like taking that initiative, and like that'll lead to great things. So I thank you again so much, Jay,
Yep.
for hanging out with me and chatting and stuff. And yeah, I really appreciate this. And it was
Of course.
awesome to see you.
Yeah,
And
same.
yeah, awesome.